Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. Real quick shout out to all the members that are there on the screen. Go check them out. Go give them a like, subscribe, show them some love and support. Also, if this video gets over 250 likes, I shall continue the series. Thank you all for the support. Let's hit 20,000 subscribers, and I will talk to you all later. Our story last ended off with Goku defeating the mighty Frieza, and he was able to absorb his power. Now, because of this, he mutated his Super Saiyan power to something completely different. Now, most of the events would happen the same with Goku heading on home. The only difference here is that Namek was never destroyed, and Goku never went to Yardrat, so he never learned their abilities. So that's the only thing, there's no instant transmission, unfortunately. But Goku would go back with his friends, and they would meet up with Trunks, because Trunks would show up a year later, seeing Goku. Now, of course, there's no Mecha Frieza. King Cold would never show up to begin with because he didn't want to. He only showed up because Frieza wanted to. Trunks would tell Goku the same exact thing with the androids, and then Trunks would leave. Though he does think that it was weird how Frieza never showed up. Maybe it was a rift in time because he went back. Now, as for the heart virus, even if Goku somehow got the heart virus either way, he can heal himself with his magic. And he'll be okay. I feel like the magic can heal any fatal injury or disease, so Goku's alright. Now jumping into the androids. 3 years would pass, and Goku would be training, of course, with Piccolo and his son Gohan the same exact way. And, of course, Piccolo and Gohan would be stronger than the original because they're fighting a more powerful Goku. And, of course, they're stronger in general. So, most events would happen the exact same, smoothly. Goku would then see Dr. Gero and Android 19. The fight would pursue, but Goku here, even if he starts getting the heart virus symptoms, his body would have already healed it and he would have been perfectly fine, or he could have healed it manually. So he would have been able to easily defeat Android 19 without much of a struggle. Because in his mutated Super Saiyan form, he's way more powerful than he was before. Yeah, he would easily defeat them. Now, as for Dr. Gero, he would still escape, as remember he fought with Piccolo, and he would still activate Android 18 and 17. Once when this is the case, they would kill Dr. Gero and they would activate Android 16. The same as before, they'll be walking down the street, and of course, as we know, this is when Vegeta does reveal himself earlier on as a Super Saiyan, but Vegeta only jumped in because Goku was about to die, and he kind of saved his life. Well, Vegeta here would then showcase Super Saiyan, and he would then lose against Android 18 and 17, as it's the same fight as before. His power level was relatively the exact same. This is when they would spot Goku, and then this is when the real fight would begin. Android 16 wants to go first to fight Goku, but the two androids would stop him and say, let us fight him first. Android 18 would then jump in, and Goku burst into his mutated Super Saiyan power, and the fight would begin. Now, Goku here is a lot more powerful than he is in the original, so I feel like he would be able to hold his own relatively well. Not to mention, even if he started losing, he can heal himself and absorb energy from the planet, making himself more powerful. With his magic abilities, he would overwhelm Android 18 and defeat her. As then 17 would jump in, and the same fate would happen to him. But now at this point, Goku's starting to get tired as he just fought those two androids. Now this is when Android 16 comes in, and Android 16 would beat up Goku, as Android 16 is a lot more powerful than both the androids. So unfortunately, Goku would ultimately lose, but he could try and absorb his energy, but the thing is that the androids don't have normal ki. They don't have normal energy, so you could argue the scenario to where Goku cannot absorb their power, but at the same time, maybe he could. So Goku has an idea. So Goku would then go behind Android 16 and grab the back of his neck, and he would copy his power. and this would increase his power tenfold, making him far more powerful now, as his body is able to handle it. Now, Android 16 was confused on what happened to his power. It's never in his database. How did his power level spike like that? Now, this is when Goku would then easily kill and defeat Android 16, obliterating him. Now, with Android 17 and 18, would Goku kill them? I believe yes, as he sees them as a threat. They would have gotten up at this point and still tried to attack him. Goku would have killed either Android 17, and I feel like at that point, because Android 17 is the cocky one, Android 17 would have died. And because of that, Android 18 would be terrified and she would flee. And Goku would let her go because he knows how scared she is. And also because we need Android 18 around here. Okay, Krillin needs a wife. We can't leave Krillin alone. This drastically changes the story. Now, as we know in the original though, the androids would go around destroying things, having fun, and then Cell would appear and absorb them. With Android 17 gone, Cell cannot become perfect. That's unfortunate. But Cell would still be pursuing because he thinks that they're still alive. Android 18 would be in hiding, so Cell has no earthly idea where she is because she's not actively destroying things and he cannot sense her power. So she's hiding in a cave or hiding somewhere. There would be a Z fighter, at least Yamcha, Tien, maybe you could even say Krillin, would be constantly keeping an eye on her to make sure that she's not destroying or doing things. So you could argue that. Now, once when this happens, Cell could be sensing where the Z fighters are and follow them. Now, this is when he finds Krillin, which he would then see Android 18. They would have a little flirtation thing between the two, Krillin and Android 18, and this is when Cell could potentially attack. But now, this is when Goku and them would appear, and Goku would begin his fight with Cell, as Goku can sense Cell's power as he begins his fight with Krillin, easily defeating him. So before Cell could even attack Android 18, Goku would have already been there. As you know, Goku was keeping an eye on the android because there's been a lot of bodies missing recently, and with Goku's more magical abilities, he knew that there was something off, that there was someone else. So, with the likes of Cell, Goku would begin his battle with him. Now, Cell, being devious, would then use a solar flare and blind Goku. This gives him the opportunity to sneak up on Android 18 and absorb her. Once when he absorbs her, he becomes semi-perfect Cell. Now, with this power, he would begin his fight with Goku. Now, the two would start to be equal, but I feel like Cell would have the upper hand on Goku. Now, Goku here is running out of options, as he knows he cannot defeat Cell, so Goku has an idea. Now, this is when Goku would explain to Cell, hey Cell, why don't we let you go search and find that other android, but in the meantime, you don't destroy nothing else. And this gives Goku time to kind of make Cell think, okay, maybe I can agree to this. But in the meantime, Goku is actually absorbing energy from the other Z fighters as they're giving him their power. As Goku talked to them through the King Kai mind, of course, the only one that didn't help out was Vegeta, as Vegeta's not going to help out nobody. But with this, Goku would absorb a massive amount of power. And also, too, this is around the time when Piccolo himself would have fused with Kami. So Piccolo is already as strong as Android 17, roughly, maybe even stronger, giving all of his power to Goku. This is when Goku gets a massive buff in power. And also too, Cell has relatively normal energy, so Goku will start absorbing energy from Cell as they fight, without Cell even noticing. But Cell is starting to notice that either he's getting weaker somehow, or Goku's getting stronger, as he's starting to keep up with Cell, and he would overpower him. Now, this is when Goku would then aim his hands at Cell, and then this is when Cell would feel a massive portion of his power be taken away from him, and Goku would swallow the power. Cell was shocked, but he knows that in the database there's something to where he can do this with power. Now, he didn't know that it was a real thing, because I feel like Dr. Gero would have a struggling time to conceal with magic, as magic is not really science and energy. That's really, magic is something different. So, because of this, Cell would lose a massive chunk of his power, and Goku would be far superior to him. With one massive blow, he would force Cell to spit out Android 18, who wasn't fully absorbed yet. And because of that, he would revert back to imperfect Cell. And before Cell could even have a chance to maybe even self-destruct if he could in this form, Goku would completely obliterate Cell, either doing a full power Kamehameha, or maybe even more. So Cell was sadly defeated. There was no perfect Cell in this, no Cell games. This also means that they never jumped in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Now you could argue that Vegeta would have, but I think it's a little bit too early, so he didn't really have the need of Cell to jump in there. So Kami and them, well, of course Kami's gone now, but Popo and them wouldn't really allow it because they don't really need to. They only did it because the Earth was in danger. But I feel like Goku at this point, even though Cell's defeated, Android 18 is still alive, but Krillin would say, wait, let's just let her go, but then we can also remove the bomb from her as well with the Dragon Ball, so she's no threat. And you can beat him up anyway. Goku would respect his friend's decision, and they would go back up and use the Dragon Balls, where Android 18 would hear that Krillin used the wish to remove the bomb from her. But sadly, there's no Android 17 since he was destroyed. Now because of this, after peace was brought back, Goku would, remember this changes everything because Goku's not dead either, so there's no Super Saiyan 3. They never found out about Super Saiyan 2 yet, and Gohan never had his latent potential unlocked for now. Goku here at this point knows that Gohan has a rare potential within him. He knows that with his anger, he can unlock his true power. Because of this, Goku would talk to Popo and Piccolo, since he's the Guardian of Earth for now. Now you could argue that Piccolo gets Dende later on, that hey, I want to use the Hyperbolic Time Chamber with my son because I want to make sure that he's powerful enough if I'm not around. Because Goku realizes that all these enemies are appearing, and maybe it's best if he's not around that much, but of course he's not dead, so he doesn't have an excuse to use it. So he would go over there for a full year with his son Gohan, and they would practice Super Saiyan. Gohan would learn it, and Goku, alongside with Gohan, would learn to master Super Saiyan fully. Now Goku knows from training with Gohan that there is a level that he saw with Gohan past Super Saiyan. Now with them being in there longer than they would have before, you could potentially argue, remember because they left early, you could potentially argue that Gohan is touching the limit of being able to reach Super Saiyan 2 with the help of Goku, because Goku's strong enough. So you could argue that Gohan might have unlocked Super Saiyan 2, but he cannot control it yet. It's only severe anger. But now, with the Cell Saga finished, there was peace on Earth for now. And that is it for this one, if you guys. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate all the support that you guys do. If this video gets to 250 likes, I shall continue it. Thank you all for the support, and I'll talk to you all later.